dinosaur period to the next, what were some of the climate changes, or what reasons were there for some of these other climate changes that you can that you can identify?
Um, I think I may have mentioned earlier there was about a 30 degree different change. And so, during that time, uh, it was much, much warmer. So you didn't have ice caps like we have now in Antarctica and Antarctica. So there was, you didn't have that ice. But because that ice was melted, a rise in sea level. So
Right.
you had more uh, water, more seawater available. So you had higher sea levels, um, and you had a much richer oxygen environment. And that's one of the theories they have as to when the huge meteor came in. Given the amount of free oxygen in the air, it was a more volatile atmosphere, and so you had like flash fire that occurred over a great portion of the globe.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but it just seems like there are different dinosaur periods too. So in those different dinosaur periods, where there was one set of dinosaurs that gave way to a new set of dinosaurs, what were those parts of the changes? Was there some type of temperature change then, or certain climate changes between those two periods, or different periods of when the dinosaurs
You had
actually changed?
a couple of different things back to the first dinosaurs, what are true dinosaurs. They come along in the Triassic period. Prior to the Triassic, you have what's called the Permian period, and the Permian period. Everybody talks about the big meteor at the end of the Cretaceous killing off the dinosaurs. There was
Right.
actually a much greater, larger extinction event that occurred at the end of the Permian period. I mean, it essentially wiped out about. There's estimates I've seen of upper 80s, almost to 90% of all species of all animals were wiped out at that time, and you had reptiles then, and these reptiles actually, before they split apart to become reptiles, there's what's called synapsids, and these synapsids look like dinosaurs. They have they're lizard-like. You would think of an iguana or that type of thing cruising
Hmm.
around, and then this big extinction event comes along, wipes all them out, and then after this extinction event, then you see the rise of the true dinosaurs, and they come along, and they kind of, they evolve or they adapt and change over time, and you have then an adaptation to fill an ecological niche, essentially.
So there were extinction events and in between these different periods. Is that what I'm gathering from what you're saying?
There was at the end of the Permian, yes. There's an extinction event that occurs, and then you go through what's called the Mesozoic era. After the Permian is the Mesozoic, and the Mesozoic is the one where it's the age of the dinosaurs. You have three distinct different time frames within that area, the last of which is the Cretaceous. Prior to that, the one that everybody knows from the movies, Jurassic Park, you have the Jurassic period, and then prior to that is the Triassic. Uh, there's one of the interesting things about the first dinosaur age in there, the Triassic, was that there was evidently at the end of that Permian period, there was a very heavy iron content, a lot of iron, because most of the sediments that you see from that time frame in there are very red, And so that would, that would make me wonder, well, some of the big meteors that you hear about or you see or whatever, you see the meteor hunter guys and they go around and they got their little magnetic things and they're looking for these pieces of iron meteorite. And so that would make me wonder if perhaps, at the end of that period, was there some huge iron core meteor that came down and smashed into the earth or something?
So there have been more than one meteor event that canceled out a particular age of dinosaurs. So that just seems interesting that we don't. Well, I guess I've never heard those theories in the past. So it just it's fascinating to see how the Earth has changed so much and how there can be a cataclysmic event happen by nature to kind of change the landscape and the life forms that are available here, and it's interesting to see those that survive. And I was talking to you earlier about those animals that survive, which I guess you can consider mankind an animal that survived, and how you notice those that survive by the types of teeth that they have. Do you ever study the teeth of the animals and how they survive? Those that may have been carnivores and had to start to evolve to have some vegetables in their diet and things like that. Have you ever studied those areas?
We look at a couple of different things, actually. We look at teeth because you can tell by teeth, what the particular diet of a certain species of dinosaur was. One of the early on dinosaurs is called heterodont, and a heterodont is one where it has both meat-eating teeth as well as plant-chewing teeth. And so it was one of those dinosaurs that was that was struggling to survive in the early years of dinosaurs that had both teeth. And so and you see adaptations over time where some animals evolve and kind of have characteristics of both meat-eating and plant-eating dinosaurs. And this is the ones that whenever I get to, and I'm walking around on the floor of the museum and I'm talking to, especially school kids, that, the quickest way to get their attention is to, say some word that, they look at you and go, and so I asked, I'll ask one of the students, the other ones will kind of be talking, and I'll ask one. It's like, so, do you know how that we tell what dinosaurs ate? And they go, well, yeah, you look at the teeth. And I go, yeah, but you know what? We also look at their poop. And as soon as you say poop, man, the kids are like, he said poop. Oh, my God. And they all start listening then and stuff. And so, that's another thing that we look at, too. So we look at their teeth, and then we take the scientific term for dino poop is called coprolites. And so we take coprolites and thin section them and look to see, what we can see in there as far as to what their diet was. And so it gives us a pretty good idea of what's going on.
So you don't call them dinosaur patties?
No.
Okay.
I've thought about it, but yeah.
Well, because we hear about cow patties and things, but no, I appreciate the information. It's fascinating to be able to look back and be able to see about how our world has changed so much over the different cycles that it has experienced with the different life forms that we've had, and I guess it's still up to interpretation whether or not the ETs had any influence on the dinosaurs. we have to, I guess, wait for more information to be revealed because it sounds like you're a person that's very open-minded to whether or not there were any aliens interacting with or ETs interacting with those species here on Earth, and of course it's a matter up to a debate whether or not they were brought here to Earth and later taken away to other planets for breeding purposes. So I understand that, and we're happy to be able to explore those possibilities. And so, we have a few more minutes left with our program this evening. And I wanted to just ask you, Tommy, are there any particular museums besides our own and here in North Texas that you could recommend to some of our listeners to maybe visit as far as having some great specimens of dinosaurs that they could visit?
The museum, the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, is a very good museum. Up in the Midwest, the Field Museum in Chicago, the Carnegie Museum over in the Pennsylvania area. There's Dinosaur National Monument. That's up. Is that Wyoming? Or no, not Wyoming. I think that's in Utah. Those are all museums that I've been to and would definitely, advise people to go and check out. Here in the Texas area, of course, I'm very partial to the Perot. It's an amazing museum. It's a brand new museum. We just completed and opened the 1st of December. Also down in the Waco area, there's a tremendous mammoth site there that they have built an exhibit there, and it's a very interesting exhibit. We have in Fort Worth the Fort Worth Museum of Natural History. So there's several museums. Up in Oklahoma, the Sam Noble Museum, another fine museum.
Okay, well, very good. Well, Tommy, if a listener wants to contact you, or do you have clients contact you? And if you do, how could they do that?
Probably the easiest way is to catch me on Facebook. I am on Facebook. I think I'm just under Tommy Diammond in Plano, Texas.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, once again, I want to thank you for being here this evening. I know that you've just been recovering from some illnesses, and so you're very gracious to be able to take some of your precious time to be with us.
I was a little concerned. I was afraid I would have one of those foggy moments.
Well,
and so I think I had a couple in there, but I thought, okay, I'll make my way through this. But I think I did okay.
You did great, and I know you've had a couple of strokes here in the past month or so, and you're a young guy, and we want you around. So, I hope that you'll be back here on Epic Voyagers Radio because you're a wonderful guest, and also it's your birthday month, so we want to wish you a happy birthday, and and I want you to know that we'll we all want to wish you many more birthdays as well. Oh. So I want to thank everyone for being with us this evening and joining us in the chat room and talking to us about your ideas about dinosaurs and ETs. And we look forward to having you back next week with our program. And then I'll be back February 11th. So I hope that you'll join us at that time here on the Epic Voyagers radio program on the Inception Radio Network. And also be sure to check out my new program here on the Inception Radio Network beginning February 5th at 3 p.m. Eastern. The new show is going to be called Beyond Metaphysics, and we'll be talking about psychic development and other forms of divination. So I hope that you'll join us at that time. And with that, I guess we'll just wrap up and wish you a Happy New Year again, a belated Happy New Year, and hope to be with you very soon. So thank you very much for being with us here on the Epic Voyagers radio program. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you for being with us tonight. Please join us again next Monday evening for Extraordinary Phenomena Investigations Council's Epic Voyages. I'm Roger Peacock for Epic. Until next time.